What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, I know this piece of news happened a long time ago, but I haven't really talked about the implications of what it means for the Chicago Bulls, and that is, I guess, Ayo Dosumnu. We're going to talk about what happened to him. If you guys don't know, most of you do know, it's been about a week or so since it happened. Let's talk about what the implications are for him and his injury in this video. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls, Ayo Dosumnu, and what it means for the Chicago Bulls. As we now know, we've known for a while that he is going to be out for the remainder of the season. Apparently it's 4 to 6 months that he'll be out. So again, it's a long-term injury. He should be back by, I guess, next season's beginnings, which is great, but ultimately still a long time away for the Chicago Bulls. First and foremost, before we get into implications, before we get into everything, I do want to wish Ayo Dosumnu nothing but the best and a wish for speedy recovery. When he is able to come back, he'll be back at 100%. Now, there's a lot that we could talk about in relation to his injury. First and foremost, if you just watched the last game that he played, you could tell that that shoulder was really uncomfortable. And you got to give credit to Ayo for putting it all out there, really. He literally played the rest of the game out. And that might have been at his own detriment because he is out for the rest of the season now. But I give respect to Ayo for trying to fight through the pain. He's not someone that's going to make excuses. When he's hurt, you could clearly tell he was hurt. You could clearly tell that shoulder ain't right. You could clearly tell his arm was dead. And he just still continued to play on. And it's something to respect and admire, but hopefully at some point he'll learn his body a little bit more and he will kind of sit himself out because, again, I don't necessarily know if playing the rest of that game made it any worse or not, but I'm just assuming that it would have made it worse, and that's why he's out for the remainder of the season. And again, the Chicago Bulls should know better as well. I mean, we had this exact same situation with Javonte Green when he came back from a knee injury unexpectedly, got hurt again, and then he was out for the remainder of the season, or at least with like 2 weeks left to go. Lonzo Ball, you know, we thought he was going to be out for a couple of weeks. He turned out to be out for a year and a half and stuff like that. Like, we've had this situation before with the Chicago Bulls, and Ayo Dosumnu now is just another one to add to that list. We just don't seem to get it right when it comes to injuries, return dates, making sure people are 100% when they're able to play, and all these things, right? We just don't seem to get it right. But again, at some point, it's not just the Chicago Bulls, it's also the players involved in that situation. But we'll move on. I don't really want to get into that conversation right now. The conversation I want to get into is what does it mean for the Chicago Bulls? And you have to take an analysis and a deeper dive on what you lose with Ayo Dosumnu. I think you lose our most consistent player. I really believe that. I think you lose our most consistent player because I think he's a jack-of-all-trades guy. If you want someone that can play make, Ayo could do that. He's a very good pick-and-roll playmaker. He makes a simple and right plays, and he can get a number of assists just based on that. You lose the three-point shooter with Ayo. I think he's raised his game to near 40% for a while there for the Chicago Bulls this season from the three-point line. Catch and shoot-wise, even just a tad bit off the dribble, he seems to be able to do that just a tiny bit. It's not the best part of his game, but he can shoot the three ball. You miss someone that can, you know, hit you in transition with ease. You can hit someone that can, you miss someone that can make you pay from that area. It's really, really quick, very good. It has a great layout package. You miss that with Ayo Dosumnu. You miss a mid-range scorer with Ayo Dosumnu. 3-level scorer, if you want to put it in that category. Someone that can make the mid-range pretty well. You miss a defender with Ayo Dosumnu. He's got great length in terms of his wingspan. Was able to really connect with the offensive player. You know, there's a reason why they call him the Trae Young stopper. That's because he's a really elite defender on that end. And at least he's someone that can give you defensive energy when the Bulls sometimes don't have it. And there's not many guys on this Bulls team that you can say that about. You miss almost anything. You miss a good rebounder as well from the rebounding department. I'm not saying Ayo Dosumnu is our best player. Don't get me wrong. But in terms of a consistency guy, and in terms of a guy that can really give you everything on the floor, two-way wise, playmaking wise, scoring wise, anything wise, Ayo Dosumnu can do that for you. And you do miss that. So that's a huge loss for the Chicago Bulls in a lot of areas. Now, Ayo's been out for a while. He recently came back. But before that, he's been out for a while. So we haven't seen him play for a long time, I guess, in an impactful way, is what I'm trying to say. But you still just miss a lot of that. You just miss a lot of that. And what it means for the Bulls is that guys need to step up in his place. He's a very impactful guard that could do a lot of things for you. And I think a lot of teams would absolutely jump at the chance to go and grab an Ayo Dosumnu. No complaints there, right? So guys need to step up in this place. Guys like Trey Jones, for example. Someone that had a 20-point game last time out. He's the guy that I'm looking at that as someone that can hopefully give that production that Ayo gave to the Chicago Bulls. Someone that can defend. Someone that can play make a little bit. Someone that clearly can score. He had 20 points last game. Someone that can knock down the three ball. Trey Jones is the guy that I'm looking at and saying, hopefully he can step up. But someone that I think should be stepping up is Dalen Terry. Now, the problem with Dalen Terry is he doesn't get meaningful minutes all the time. But when he does get meaningful minutes, he needs to step up in that way. This needs to be an area that Dalen Terry can improve in. And if he can't consistently step up for the Bulls in that way, there is a conversation about his long-term future here. Guys like Josh Giddey, someone that's, probably our best player right now. When Ayo is out, Josh Giddey has to step up in ways that we probably don't expect. We're talking about Josh Giddey, being an improved defender. I think a lot of that is because Ayo is out. And someone needs to step up on that defensive end. And Josh Giddey has put the initiative on himself to do so. And I think that's very important. And there's just so many more guys. Even Javon Carter, when he steps up for the Chicago Bulls and he gets minutes, he needs to step up as well. Ayo is a massive loss. It's very similar to Lonzo Ball when he first got injured for the Bulls. There's a massive gap there that multiple players need to fill. Not one person can do it. I'm not saying it's to the extent of Lonzo Ball, but Ayo Dosumnu is a guy that does a lot of things for you, and the way to make it up is that everybody has to step up in some significant way. So that's what you miss with Ayo Dosumnu sadly being out for the rest of the season. I really think he's our most consistent guy. And I really hope when he comes back that consistency can still remain through it for the rest of his career. He's still a really young guy and there's still a lot of, basketball to play in his career. And I really hope that he can find that consistency next season. He can take the next step next season and all these great, beautiful things. But get well soon, Ayo. It was fun to watch you play. I still really like your game, and hopefully next season we get to see a little bit more of it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.